right, hey guys, welcome into another episode of Conquer Corona. We have Stratton Brown on the call here and doing things from home now. Usually, Stratton and I are in the same office here in Fresno, doing a lot of deals together. But man, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. And as a wholesaler, we had Michael Butler on a call just about a few days ago, and he was talking a lot about this is a great time for looking at systems, looking at how to be able to improve everything that he's doing to be able to outsource more. But right now, I'm looking at what you're doing. You're still doing a lot of deals right now, Stratton. So let's just talk about let's go back. Today's March 26th when we're
Yeah.
recording this. Going back 2 weeks ago, it was kind of like, man, what's this whole Corona stuff going to be? And then it was like, oh my gosh, this thing is really happening. So talk about what impact that had on your business and the things that started to come up that were like new experiences for you.
Yeah, man. Money's dried up. Buyers are scared. For sure, that's the number one thing. We have a handful of buyers who are ready to go, and they're real. And that's the big thing I've been working on this week has been reaching out to the people who I know actually close. They aren't just like willy-nilly trying to get into flipping, because anybody who is willy-nilly now, they're scared to death. They're not going to do it. And so I reached out to our handful of really good buyers, and I was like, hey, what's changed? What has changed for you criteria wise? And that way we know how to adjust our margins. We've dropped our offering rate about 15%, like how much we can offer homeowners. And that's really how we're adjusting. Leaning down a little bit. I let go of 8 people this week, and it wasn't for the coronavirus. It was more of people not performing. So we had on Monday, we had 7 cold callers going from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And we got 4 leads. So we let go of all of them, and we let go of our texter because they haven't really been producing. And so now I'm switching over to a slightly different model to where it'll be a lot more lean. I'm hiring on 2 acquisitions reps, and they will be handling cold calling for 3 hours a day each. We'll still provide cold calls, leads for them, texting leads for them, but they'll also be texting every day, sending out 2,000 texts a day. And that's all 1099.
Okay. Got it.
And so that's kind of a pivot that I did that's going to save me thousands of dollars every month.
There you go. So yeah, I mean, is name of the game right now just leaning things out and saving money to see where all this goes?
Leaning things out, saving money to see where things goes. We don't really have a lot of buy and hold investors out here, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And the only real buy and hold stuff that makes sense for most people to buy rentals is 93702 and 93706. Everything else, no one else is really buying stuff like that. I don't know if you know anybody. Majority of the time, we don't. Everybody's serious flippers.
Yeah. And so that right there, I mean, I guess with knowing that and knowing that this could greatly affect the flipping business, how are you adjusting to that?
If we buy it cheap enough, people will buy it. That's my honest opinion. And then we still have our network of people who have money and they're willing to buy and they're looking to buy. And then now it's time for me to start going out raising money, saying, hey, I want to buy this. How much money will you give me? Go out and talking whatever money people I have so I can start building my rental portfolio. I mean, the goal is to take down the good ones, wholesale the rest.
Yeah, and for me right now, I think transitioning it, I've known for a while that we've been at the top of the market for flipping, and so flipping is getting every day scarier and scarier, riskier and riskier, even without the coronavirus. And so I think you're going to see a lot of people that have been flipping starting to go into buy and holds or starting to find more creative ways to be able to take on deals. So is there some sort of way, especially I know it's not necessarily your job to do this, but especially with there being always a new batch of young to the business type of people, teaching them, hey, listen, this might not work as a flip, but here's another way to look at it as a buy and hold, or another way to look at it as, a wholesale or anything like that, that you can help them to see that maybe they're not viewing in their analyzation.
Yeah, that's a lot more relationship based.
Hmm.
to where the relationships I've built are people who already have established businesses, and so they know what they want. Majority of the times when it's a new flipper buying from us, they're flipping so they can build up money to buy more rentals. Is generally what I see. So I don't see myself educating people.
Hmm.
I see still networking more, and then now like the big dogs are gonna come out to play. Honestly, like as soon as stuff really starts to like drop, then the old farmer dudes are probably gonna come out and start buying up stuff, where the real money comes out.
And so, do you think those people though are going to be flippers, or do you think it's going to mainly be buy and hold?
It's buy and hold. I
Yeah.
see if we with the way things are going with business not running, the economy is obviously not going to do very well,
Hmm.
and so everything's going to start to tank. And then as soon as it really starts to drop and gets really low, they're all going to be buying it up. I mean, you can flip on the downside. It's just really risky if you don't buy it
Right.
right. And so
Right.
maybe you'll see a lot more wholesales and then a lot more sub two.
Okay. So
And then
you
even if we wholesale it to someone who wants to buy and hold, maybe wholesale. Um, I know a couple people who are still flipping, but then they have all private money that's at really low interest rates to where they don't care.
right.
They know they bought it right. They can throw a 10 in there and still cash flow.
Okay. Cool. Um, so you talked about buyers being scared right now and needing to drop prices for them. Two-part question here. What are sellers doing, and are they open to dropping prices right now in your conversations that you're having?
Um, it really hasn't hit them quite yet, but we just tell them like, hey, with everything that's going on in the market, this is what we can do. Generally, we can pay a little bit more. Someone may pay you more, but I promise you, they're probably not going to close, or they're going to back out on you on the day of closing. So that's how we kind of handle that because we're coming. Our offers are even lower than normal wholesalers, just to be able to adjust to the market, be able to get the deal done. Because I don't want to lock up 8 different properties and then have someone set to move out the tenants, blah blah blah, this and that, and then day of closing just back out.
Right.
You can't do that to people.
No, no, definitely not. So it seems to me like right now, in regards to risk, some of the lowest ways that you can enter into real estate investing with the lowest amount of risk is through wholesaling. So,
Yeah.
do you think now is the right time to be a wholesaler?
1 minute. Sorry, they're mobilizing a bunch of jets.
You're good. We can't even hear it.
Yeah, it is. It's always a good time to know because all it is an exit strategy.
Hmm.
That's all I think of it as. Like I have a deal finding business and a sales and marketing business, and then I wholesale stuff off, and then the next step is okay. I like this one. Let's keep it. Oh, I don't like that one. And that's I say wholesaling is the easiest way to get in, but a lot of people just think it's easy money and whatever. Like, oh yeah, I go tell someone I'll give them money for their house, they're gonna give it to me. Everything else, no one else knows. Like, hey, it's like 120 leads to get a cold call deal,
Right.
and that costs us however much money just to spend the money on the callers, the training on the callers, the systems, and everything else. It's always a good time to get into wholesaling, but I mean, I'd say right now, if I was gonna get into real estate, yeah, wholesaling and stat cash and be ready for this downturn, and then creative financing as well. Creative
Yeah.
financing is going to be really big in these next coming years. So
I
I think that'd be an awesome way to get into real estate.
I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. We actually just had Chris Prefontaine on our show, the Smart Real Estate Coach. They do everything with lease options and subject to owner financing. And they're winning right now. Like they haven't seen any sort of downturn in their business. If anything, they said sellers are more open to discussing that right now because of what's going on. So totally agree with that.
Exactly.
Yeah. How long do you think this thing's going to go for? I mean, we can only speculate, but what are your thoughts?
Like the quarantine.
Quarantine, the effect it's going to have afterward, the lag time, whatever you have thought of at all.
I think that if you don't let businesses run, the economy is going to take an absolute shit. and I see like us going into a big crash. And I've talked to a lot of people who are a lot smarter than me, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, no, I'm about to make a lot of money in these next couple of years, just based off of everything." I was talking to a guy on the phone from a lead that came in. He's like, "I made millions in the '80s from the recession." He's like, "I'm about to do it again this next year." I have other people freaking out who own big construction companies. They still have people in work, but like Philadelphia just no, what is it? Pennsylvania shut down as a state.
Yep.
Like you can't not have a recession if everything shuts down. And I mean, maybe they can throw in a little stimulus package. I think it just delays the inevitable.
Yeah. Well, eh, and you see that, let's say that, quarantine is done in 2 weeks. Let's call it April 15th. You still think that same effect happens?
April 15th. I doubt that. I mean, Trump is his job is to be positive and everything else, but done by April 15th. If it happens, I don't know, hopefully, but then I can't see people just coming back that fast. We went from hard money lenders lending stuff out for just 3 points to them saying, "Hey, I want 10% down. I want 6 months interest up front, and I want your fourplex as collateral."
Yep.
Like
It's
overnight.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, hard money especially is asking for a lot more now, and it happened overnight, like you said. I got text from a couple hard money lenders letting me know, like, if we don't do the deal now, then you're going to see rates jump through the roof on Monday. And so it's weird times, it's scary times, but at the same time, like you said, there's a great opportunity to start seeing opportunities here in the future and to get in, not in a easy way, like you said, wholesaling is not easy, but a low risk way. So you're helping people to get into that as well. How
Yeah.
can people connect with you in order to start looking into wholesaling?
Follow me on Instagram, StratDaddy, 2 T's, 2 Y's. Is the best way. I do offer consulting. We do certain consulting calls. And yeah, that's the best way. I'd tell you, if you are going to get into real estate, most people who come to me will come to me once, and then I never hear from them again.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't give up. That's the biggest mistake everybody makes. They think, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a wholesaler." They get into it and they're inconsistent, or they do this or do that. They don't have any skin in the game, or like, "Hey, I don't want to pay for mentorship." I worked for a guy for a year and a half to learn everything I know,
Yep.
and I still spend thousands of dollars a month on myself, getting coaching from other people.
That's what the name of the game is, man. I mean, you and I talk about all the time, masterminding, education, like, almost 30% of my costs last year were just on education and masterminds alone.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's something that you got to do to keep on getting that unfair advantage beyond the rest is just continued education. So, hey, thanks for educating us today, Stratton, and thanks for helping our audience to be able to survive and thrive during uncertain times. Follow Stratton on Instagram, StratDaddy. You said 2 Y's, 2 T's, right?
Yep. 2 T's, 2 Y's.
All right, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate you being on.
Thanks, boss.